Yes, this is the first conversation in our One Lincoln Voices series, so I'm excited to have you all here. This session is going to run about 45 minutes, and throughout we would invite you to leverage chat. If you have questions or if you have just some comments or thoughts that you'd like to share via chat as you're listening today, please do that, and we'll have also a lot of time for conversation. I'll introduce myself. I'm Christy Hernandez. I work in human resources, but this conversation is brought to you by One Lincoln, which includes members across the City of Lincoln organization. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Shanda Wilson, who is our host for today. Shanda.
Thank you, Christy. One Lincoln is really excited to spotlight an incredible community organization, the NAACP Lincoln Youth Council, and learn about the inspiring work they're doing with young leaders in our city. One Lincoln is a citywide initiative focused on connection, collaboration, and belonging across our organization. And One Lincoln Voices is a way for us to elevate community partners and internal voices doing meaningful work in Lincoln. We'll start with a short overview from our guest speaker, then move into a conversation to learn more about the Youth Council's impact, followed by a few minutes for audience questions. I'm Shanda Wilson from the accounting team in finance. One of my favorite things about my job is that I get to see so many of the important projects the city is working on and how hard folks are working every day to make our community a better place. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest, Mar-Lakuittia Overstreet, who serves as an advisor for the NAACP Youth Council and works closely with students to support leadership development, civic engagement, and community service. I met Mar-Lakuittia at a Juneteenth celebration in 2020 and was so captivated by the work her organization was doing and continues to do. Feel free to drop any comments or questions in the chat as she shares. We'll bring some of them to the conversation shortly. And now I will turn things over to Mar-Lakuittia to start us off with a short overview of the important work her organization does.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Sandra. I am so honored and privileged to be your first guest for this amazing event. I am just ecstatic to be with you, and please don't hesitate to ask questions, be involved. My desire is that this is a collaborative, interactive space of learning, growing, and building our Lincoln community. You can click on the next slide. As stated, my name is Mar-Lakuittia Overstreet, and you will have to, go back because it's Canva. You kind of jumped over and then just hit all the way at the very beginning. There you go. My name is Mar-Lakuittia Overstreet, as stated, and I am the Youth Council Advisor for the Lincoln NAACP. I also am the Iowa-Nebraska representative for the Youth Councils and College chapters. I was born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska. I am a product of also Lincoln Public Schools. I originally began my career teaching English for 7th graders, 7th and 8th grade reading elements, and then I did that at Keller Middle School. And then I switched over to Lincoln High School, and I was the ELL teacher for level 3 literature studies. And then I switched over to North Star, became the team leader for ELL and teaching. And shortly after, I became an administrator, where I was the admin at North Star and transitioned into an admin with the focus programs of Bay High, Arts and Humanities Focus Program, and Science Focus Program. Currently, I am actually in Germany teaching English for grades 10 through 13. This is a really cool transitional year for me. I am also working on my doctorate through UNL for educational studies. I am extremely, probably way too involved if you think about it, for all the things I do. I love working with youth. I love working and coaching, whether that's academically wise, leadership wise, or sports wise. Right here in Germany, I'm a basketball coach for the boys and girls, but I've also coached in Lincoln. I'm a Lincoln Youth Track Club head coach. So during the summer times, I spend my time all around youth, kids ages 5 through 18 years old. But today, I am not just going to talk about myself. I'm highlighting not only am I a woman of color, this month, if you don't know, is February is Black History Month. You can go to the next slide. And this year we are celebrating our 100th year of celebration. And one of the acknowledgements of the groups that I'm a part of, outside of my sports, outside of the things that I do in my community, is the NAACP Lincoln Youth Council. I had the honor and privilege of starting in 2019, reactivating the group. And it has gone on and off and on and off. And as of right now, it has been on since 2019 to now. I'm one thing about Black History Month I want to highlight, which really impacts the NAACP Lincoln Youth Council, is that it's not just a month that we're celebrating. It's ongoing. It is the strengths, the struggles. If you think about things that have gone through in the world and making change and having voices and being at the table, that's what this is all about. And like I mentioned, I'm privileged and honored to be here today to share a little bit more about us. Go to the next slide. The Youth Council is a national organization, and there are different units. And the unit that we have in Lincoln, we actually have two. We have a Youth Council, which is for ages 24 and under. And then we also have a college chapter, which is through the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And the cool thing is, the youth that I started in 2019 are the youth that reactivated the college chapter at UNL. So they graduated senior year and they're like, what are we going to do? Like, we're going to college. And I was like, you're going to do exactly what you need to do. You're going to reactivate what was gone, just like we did here. And those youth created the UNL chapter that's now on campus till this day. And so it's really cool to watch that second generation with that. It feels like a second generation, not really, but like it's a phenomenal feeling to know that they are active on campus. And now some of them, which kind of makes me feel a little old, I know I don't look it, but they've now graduated and are working in the community. And so I'm still working with the UNL chapter still. And a lot of the kids that are in the youth council, if they go to UNL, they end up joining the college chapter. You can go to the next slide. With that being said, how to join. So as I mentioned, the NAACP Youth Council is for ages 24 and below. So yes, that sounds crazy. Age 0 can be a member. But predominantly in the Youth Council, we have middle school through high schoolers that join. But I have had some interest of elementary kids that are wanting to join, and they can. There is because we're a national organization, there is a membership fee of $10. But one thing that I tell my youth is cost is not going to determine whether or not of your involvement. So I encourage you to join regardless, and we make it happen for them to join if the cost is it. One way of showing interest is a lot of times it's the youth recruiting youth. It's word of mouth. It's you all in the room on Zoom or on this Teams chat. It's us just spreading the word in Lincoln. So kids that are interested in leadership, growth, learning and making a positive impact in Lincoln, that's who can come. Anyone can come at any time. Kids come when they can. So I understand busy schedules. If you think about a couple things I said I just did, I don't want kids to feel like they can't come or be involved if they can't come to meetings. So we have youth that are involved and they might not be able to come to meetings, and they can still be a part. They can be a part through our group me that we have, our communication, and the youth council, they decide and they vote. It's a student-led group when they have meetings. So currently it's Mondays 6 to 7 at Doane University, Lincoln. And so they decided to meet every single Monday. They don't have to. Normally people just meet once a month for groups. These kids are so eager to work in the community and grow and get things done. They want to meet once a week. When I first started the youth council, it was kind of crazy. I was meeting twice a week. We had meetings twice a week when I first started. And 2019, if you remember, next was 2020. During COVID, those youth, we met every single weekend. On a weekend, they wanted to meet. Every single Saturday, I was meeting with kids and they were joining, and that was our way of connecting. That was our way of thinking of what can we do to improve the Lincoln community. And so we have youth out there. My goal is to find them. So if you know them, come, like, let them know that they have a spot and they have a place, and that their youth voice really matters. You can find us by getting my information, and then I have information later on that you can share. But we really are just trying to spread the word and let this know this is open to our city of Lincoln. You can go to the next slide.
Mar-Lakuittia, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what do you think? I think that's amazing that they are so engaged that they want to attend that frequently. What do you think? What do you think it is that keeps them so engaged? And what is it that's happening in those meetings that really makes them want to come?
Absolutely. Great question. I think being inclusive, having a voice, one of the biggest things is that the youth council is made for youth. So yes, I'm the advisor, but I'm not in charge. I don't get to vote. I don't get to decide what they do. It really is them being innovative, being creative, making the decisions that they feel like need to be heard. They literally become like a little family. Sometimes they call me mom. It's super funny. But like it's like I become a big sis. I become like an aunt. Like I tell the kids, like, once you join, I'm in your life forever. So even if they grow out of age, I reach out to them at least once or twice a year, even the kids that are now young adults. I'm still connected with them. And so I think that community set, that mindset, the inclusivity, the fact that they get to decide and make what's really own it. So each year is very different depending on the group that joins. And they just share this bond and this friendship, and they really care about making sure Lincoln is being looked at by the youth generation as well, and having a voice. So that's what I think helps them want to be a part and be engaged.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm
Absolutely.
going to move to your next slide.
Okay. So I wanted to highlight our vision and mission. I'm not going to read at you. You have the slides to see as well. But one of the things that the NAACP is looking at is really trying to eliminate the discrimination, to empower, to bring awareness. It's not just for Black people, but all persons of color, and everyone has a color. And so the misinterpretation that we get is that you have to be Black to join. That is not true. If you know the history of NAACP, it wasn't created just by Black people. It was actually three Black couple, females and males, and then 3 white allies as well. And the NAACP started off with those 6 individuals coming together and really trying to bring about change. Yes, we do have predominantly students of color, but we also have students who are we're all our color. And so when I share that, there's kids who are like, oh, I didn't know I could be a part. Why not? You're a person of color. We all have a color. And so that's the cool thing, is that we're not excluding anyone. Everyone gets to be a part, and that's our mission, is to ensure that everyone is a part, everyone is engaged, and we're trying to achieve equity all around Lincoln. We can move to the next slide. Our layers that we really are foundations. This is something new that the NAACP Youth and College incorporated, and it's just to help us with focus of what things should the youth be focused on, or what things can they think about to do. And this is something we call the Centers of Innovation, or C-HOPE. And so if you look at it, there's one for health equity, opportunity, race and justice, education, innovation, environmental and climate justice. So my goal as the advisor is to help introduce these to the youth, help guide them, but really they allow themselves to also dive deeper and explore what those options may look like and sound like in Lincoln. You can go to the next slide. So with that, those C-HOPEs go into our standing committees and executives. We have a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. And those are the main 4 voices of the youth council as they're representing. But on top of that, we have additional leadership opportunities for standing committees. And each year it kind of varies of what the kids want to focus on. This year, they're really diving into membership, education, press and publicity, and programs and research. But it really varies on the youth and who's there. You don't have to do all of these things because there's so much. And like I said, they do meet once a week, but they strive to hit on one of these standing committees. And this is how youth can still be involved even if they can't come in person. Each standing committee meets outside of meeting. So these kids are so engaged and they have to meet outside of meeting. Then they bring their ideas and thoughts that they had as a group together. And then the group can vote and decide and pick on things that they want to do, or they explore and create things together. Go to the next slide. Here's a couple things that we do that I wanted to highlight. The youth voice and leadership is probably my biggest thing that I appreciate. When I was a youth, I wish I had an NAACP Youth Council that I was a part of. I wasn't. It did exist, but I just didn't know about it. And so having the youth that are leading this group, they're learning leadership opportunities. They are the ones in charge. I think that is so crucial that they're trying to empower and improve Lincoln and bring unity upon what they're doing and bringing people together. And that goes into like us bringing awareness, whether that is social justice awareness, whether that is such like awareness of like Black History Month or Women's History Month, whatever it may be. It might be environmental, something that's going on, they can bring awareness. And we try and do that through our social media or through research or collaborating with other groups. And then we also collaborate with other events. So anything that we can find in Lincoln that we can get our hands on, we want to be a part and we want to help. And so we have a table, we have a booth, and we bring our information and then we share. And so it's something that we just strive to do, is really figure out how we can support in the youth. Like I said, being a part and having a voice is really what makes that the biggest impact. You can move to the next slide. Here's just a few accomplishments that the youth really care about. Shauna mentioned Juneteenth in 2020 is when I met her. And that was a huge thing because that was one of our first huge like events that we did for the entire city of Lincoln. Juneteenth was actually canceled. And because everyone was, scared and unsure of what was going on with COVID, the adults who normally run Juneteenth said they weren't doing it. The youth said not so. And so couple students and groups from the university, college students, they reached out to me. Those college students created an event, and it was only youth led for the very first time of Juneteenth. I got the honor of being a part because I was the advisor, but every single thing that was created at this part, the kids did like a presentation in this top corner with our shirts that say "I ask, I act." Hashtag What are you doing? It was an initiative that we created that we're bringing back this year, really asking the community, what are you doing? And also inviting, what are you doing, so we can be a part of the change, being part of the positive impact. So that was really huge for the youth because the city of Lincoln didn't think it could happen, and it became one of the biggest events, and it was packed, jam-packed, and it was so powerful. The youth also have an opportunity where they give presentations. Just actually recently, last week, they went to Leadership Lincoln and presented to their own peers. And they loved that. It wasn't all of them, but sometimes different youth do different events. Just this year, the education committee decided to do ACT prep for students in the Lincoln community, so it was free. They're going to do it again before ACT coming up, just so then they provided their own resources and they helped kids study for the ACT. We collaborated with the Unite, which is a UNL group for Native American Heritage Month, and we have a potluck and celebration with them. And then one of the other things that we did, we got with Spreetel and presented and facilitated for voices of youth to be heard. You can move to the next slide. And then the last few things that we do, or some things that we've done that are really huge accomplishments, we acknowledged different youth that do not get a chance to have Halloween. So we made Halloween bags and candy bags with different facts and encouraging things. And that got sent to Bryan East and Bryan West youth. It got sent to Malone Center, the Lighthouse, City Impact, and also some students from the Equity Cadre for Lincoln Public Schools. And then one of the other highlights that we started in 2020 was Black History Month calendar. And this is something that you all can be a part of now because it is Black History Month. If you want, you can switch over to the calendar at this time. Black History Month calendar is an interactive calendar that goes to the Lincoln community. Anyone and everyone, you can share it. And the youth create different facts of the day, different resources. This is an ongoing interactive, so people can send us ideas, videos, and we take the time to give a one-stop shop for celebration. We also have a mini one for Women's History Month that we do, and our goal is to continue to grow this calendar. But we started this calendar in 2020, and it's something that all the schools in Lincoln Public Schools, and then I also share it with the private schools and also some colleges. And there's even the state of Iowa. There's some people who reach out. Like this calendar has gone now from Iowa to Colorado to Nebraska. Where people are wanting this. And it's crazy because people are messaging and emailing our youth council email the year before, like, are you sending this calendar? I'm like, oh my gosh, we are not even there yet. But it's so amazing that people are looking for this resource. It's just one way for you to be involved and see what's happening in Lincoln, and to allow the city of Lincoln and our Black community to know that this is, yes, we can definitely link this in the chat. I plan on sharing it with everyone for you to just see. And if you scroll down, you will see on the page 2 and kind of throughout that we provide other groups reach out to me. They send me information. You can keep scrolling and you see their flyers and their information, and things just keep adding. Oh, I didn't even know some of those just got added. So the kids are adding stuff already because I didn't even know about some of those on the second page, which is phenomenal. But it's just an opportunity and resources of different groups. Some of these groups are from students of color, of groups that they've created themselves and events that they've started. Some of them are brought by other organizations. And we just try and make it very interactive, and it's just a really cool one-stop and shop for celebration and acknowledgement, and for you to do something and also to learn, to acknowledge, to celebrate, and to grow as a community.
Mar-Lakuittia,
yeah.
I should have asked you this before, but I am not a Google Docs girl, so I'm just showing that right now. If I share the link that's up here in chat, is that going to give everybody on the call access so that they can open it and view it?
Yes, it will.
Okay,
it will give them access. You can
doing it right now.
That. Yeah, and seriously, if you have ideas, if you have a resource, I've had students who they sing and they send a video of them singing or their songs, and so we've had local artists. If you stop there real quick on that page, at the end of the month, the Lincoln Youth Council, we have our 3rd annual celebration of Black History Month with the Lux Center of the Arts. This is open to the entire public, and it's an open mic opportunity. So if you want to share about your group or organization and let youth know or let the community know, you literally come together and just share information and help people grow. We have performances, we have dances, sometimes we have steps, we have bands, we have local artists that perform. We highlight Black-owned businesses of youth. So, or sometimes just youth in the NAACP. I have a couple youth that have their own businesses. It's phenomenal. And so they sell their, each year I highlight a youth and they sell their products. And normally it's desserts and it's very yummy. So this year it's another student. He's a junior this year. He'll be the one featured in selling his he has his own photography and his own baking business. Like, these kids are out here being innovators and creators, and it's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I'm just so inspired by it. And so we will have that opportunity. Anyone can be a part, anyone can be involved. There's an art gallery as well. So if there's, so then that's from 10 to 4. And people just, they share their art, and we have it up. And it's so amazing how throughout the day, going to Lux and how many people come through. That's probably one of our biggest events. Last year we had over 100 people show up from 10 to 4, on and off. And it's just a phenomenal opportunity for us to celebrate, come together, and learn from other youth, learn from other adults, and learn from other companies and businesses, and see what's out there. That this might be an opportunity of a future job that a student might want to go to. And if you come share your information, now they have that opportunity. And so that's this space for learning and growing. And so I'm really excited about it. I won't personally be there this year, but I'm helping all the things behind closed doors and ensuring that it's a successful event. So I'm really, really excited of what it's going to look like. And we will hopefully continue it in the future.
That's
yes.
really cool. This is so comprehensive. It's fantastic.
Yes, it continues to grow, and I just love it. And there's so much going on throughout Lincoln. Almost every single day are different events. And if you don't know of certain places and certain things, it's a real way to expand beyond the places in Lincoln that you normally go to, and also give back, and also, like I said, grow and learn and celebrate at the same time.
That's great. Hey, I want to just check in. Did anyone try that link? Give us a thumbs up or something if you tried the link and it worked for you.
I think I see a lot of animals up there, so I think.
Oh, okay. That's what that means.
Well, yeah, it means other people are on, and that's the best part. Like, when I'm on there or I'm editing or I see it and I see so many people on, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really looking at it. Like, the kids love that, and it's phenomenal. And the nice thing is, you really have to go back and check, because you don't know what's going to be added, and you don't know what new things show up. I just said today, I didn't even know of some of the events that are now down there. I was like, wait, what is that? So I'm really excited. So I hope you utilize this resource and explore. Today's Wednesday. Click on the fact of the day and hear the fact that these kids have decided. Those are videos created by the students. That's their voices, their creation. I help them with themes, and the theme this year is because it's the 100th year. So they kind of expand and decide what those facts of the day are. The ones on Sunday are different facts of the day, but the ones during the week are the students. And those facts are actually normally shared and played at the high schools, or they're read. So you will also see the transcripts. So there's some students or some schools that don't have video announcements, and instead they read our transcripts at school during the day. And that's really phenomenal to know that our work is going beyond just us and the screen.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And I did see someone said that it worked. Shanda, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Yes. Thank you so much for that overview. It's really inspiring to hear how young people are shaping the future of our community. We have a few questions to help us learn more about the Youth Council and your work, although you've already told us so much about what you do. And while we're asking these questions, if you guys want to answer a question in the chat, what is one way you think our community benefits from youth leadership like this? And so just go ahead and put your answers in the chat while we talk to Mar-Lakuittia. Mar-Lakuittia, what inspired you personally to get involved with the Youth Council?
Yeah, what inspired me was really my own journey and my own story. I mentioned I was a youth that was highly involved, and I valued community. I valued being able to have a voice. I didn't tell you about my personal background in regards to different things that I went through as a youth. Not all pretty, not all good experiences in my life. At one point in time, I was homeless. At one point in time, and you would never know. I was so involved in the activities that I did. It impacted me and to be the leader and teacher I am today. And so personally, I looked at my own story and my own journey, and you wouldn't believe it, I have like 15 brothers and sisters, as well as I'm the oldest and I'm the middle child. And so I love the spaces where I got an opportunity to really give back, and to really be involved and to do more than just me, to not just care about myself but care about others. And so I mentioned I love coaching, whether that's sports, whether that's in the classroom. And so I wanted to be involved with the youth council because I love the students got the voice. I love that the students got an opportunity to grow and explore. And not only do we just do things for others in the community, but I ask the youth, what do you want to do and what do you want to learn? And I find those people or those places and provide that for the students. So if I know that they want to go into education, well, we bring an educator in. If I know they want to be a scientist, we bring a scientist in. Whatever it is, we try and really make it personable at the same time. And yeah, I just absolutely love the fact that they are the ones in charge and having that voice and giving back to their community. And so that's something that I personally do. And so I think that really connects me to be an advisor and help them and let them know that they can be a leader and be whatever they're trying to strive to do.
Absolutely. Um, and how can community members or organizations like ours support the Youth Council's mission?
Yeah. One of the biggest things that you can do to support our mission is be willing to be a part. One of the things that I mentioned is we do a lot of things for the public, having faces there, coming and supporting and being there, letting the youth know that adults care, that adults want to be there, that they want to listen. We learn and grow from each other. Um, Another way that you can support the Youth Council's mission is if there are ideas or things that we could collaborate with you all on. The kids love to collaborate with organizations. If they're, like I mentioned earlier, this might be a possible job or a career that you're at, they're our future. How are they going to know and learn and grow? And so knowing that this is an opportunity for them, that this is a pathway for them, as well as I mentioned the membership. Whenever we do events, the youth also do fundraisers, and they try and create things like they're doing it by themselves. And so if there's something that they want, we have to strive to get it. And so I help them with fundraising and different things like that, to ensure that cost is not a problem. Whatever they try and put their mind to, or things that they're creating. So we love working with groups that are willing to help and support the youth and making things possible for when they're trying to accomplish something.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And if I could ask one more question before we wrap up, what do youth members gain from participating both personally and professionally? I know you've touched on that a lot, but how does this help them in the rest of their life?
Yeah, they become advocates. They become public speakers. My president, that is the president now. You would not believe that she's the president. She was with the youth council earlier, and she was so quiet. She kind of sat back, and now she's the president. And this is year 2 of her being the president and being voted. So building that leadership, having that voice. They're able to get out in the community and see themselves as a future adult. Professionally, those skills set of communication, collaboration, teamwork. There's so many things to describe it as. The confidence in yourself, the just the capabilities of knowing that you have a goal and that you're able to achieve it and that you set your mind to it. Like I mentioned, the events that they're doing, they're the ones leading it. So organization and what that looks like. And so they're really able to take away basically how to be innovators and creators and make something happen that matters to them, but also for the Lincoln community. So hopefully my goal is when they get young adults, that they're able to be positive leaders in the Lincoln community, and you see them around and not just behind closed doors.
Mar-Lakuittia, I wanted to go back to, like, as you were giving us that little list of, ways that we might be able to be a part of this, right? One of the things that you said was to leverage this group. Like, if there are things that we have happening at the city and county that we need to hear from youth in the community, this group would be an opportunity, a group that we could leverage. And as we were talking the other day, Maria Elena, who I just double checked to make sure she's on the call, and I'm sorry, Maria Elena, for calling on you, but you had a great idea. And I think sometimes my brain doesn't necessarily connect to some of the potential opportunities. And so but I think if we can hear from other people, the ideas that come to mind, it might help generate some more thinking. So Maria Elena, if you're at a spot where you could unmute and just kind of share what you thought of the other day when we were talking.
One of the plans the community has is the Community Health Improvement Plan, and we're always looking programming where we can have the youth voice, because it's very easy to create activities that maybe youth is not interested or would like to be involved with. So in the being board, we can get their idea and have and some dollars to make those ideas a reality, because it helps when youth create ideas that is
that matter to them. Maria Elena, your audio is kind of cutting in and out, so I apologize for talking over you. But yeah, to get them involved so that they're saying what matters to them instead of us trying to make those choices, right? I think that was a great idea. Thank you. Are there any other questions from folks that you want to enter in chat, or even unmute and ask questions? We still have a few minutes with Mar-Lakuittia, so if anything's coming to mind that you'd like to ask. One of the things, Mar-Lakuittia, while we're waiting to see if anyone else chimes in, how do we find you on social media? How do we find NAACP Lincoln Youth Council on social media so that we can see the things that group is posting?
Yes. You can actually go to the next slide. I believe I have it as well, but it's at we have our own website that we can share with you, and we will slowly update that as we get to. But we also have social media. If you go to the next site, and sorry, there's one more. Our Gmail, and then we also have our Instagram, which is at NAACP Youth LNK, so without the 9. That is our Instagram. And so our youth are adding stuff on that Instagram, our events. They highlight different things that they're doing. We do have a Facebook, but really the kids are more focused on the Instagram. We have a Twitter too, but a lot of it is just coming from Instagram. That's the gist of where you're going to see everything. You can always email us. We answer. It might be a youth, it might be advisor. I'm the advisor, and this year I also have 2 co-advisors. So you might be wondering how am I in Germany and also doing this. I'm training 2 actually young adults, and one of the young adults was my vice president when I started in 2019. She became the president of the UNL chapter when they reactivated, and now she's back and helping me as a co-advisor. And so when I meant that, like I'm trying to grow my own and bring them back into leadership. And another example is in Lincoln Youth Track Club, one of my coaches she was the president of the youth council as well, and she now works with me underneath my track club. And so like giving them those spaces back, going back to that question, but I just thought about that. But that's our social media, and you'll see that on there. And sometimes you'll see the different kids. You can message us on social media, on Instagram as well. But email works. You can also reach directly out to me. I will always respond as well. And we all have access, the executive and the co-advisors and the advisors, we all have access to the email. And right now, currently, we have about 61 members. It continues to grow and change. We are constantly recruiting every time that we can. So it's really cool because we actually just got 61. We just had an event. We have more kids adding, so that number might have just changed from our last event that we just did. We did a Martin Luther King potluck and had speakers. And so we had youth that joined after that event. They enjoyed what we did, and now they want to be a part. I don't know if I can't see the chat, if there are any questions.
I haven't seen any questions pop up. Have you, Christy?
Okay.
No, I don't see any
Nope.
questions. We have some fun comments.
Yes.
Okay.
So just on what an organization like this brings to the community, fresh ideas, it gives a different perspective that adults may not see. Absolutely. Connections to others in different ways, provides opportunity for youth to see themselves, their impact, their contributions in community and greater society. And then with events occurring in the country, having this work at the youth level is so important. Absolutely, Holly. Thank you. And so thank you so much, Mar-Lakuittia, for sharing your time and passion with us. It's time to start wrapping up here. But after the session, Christy will email Mar-Lakuitta's slide deck to all of you. So you'll have a link to the Youth Council's website, and we've dropped the link in the chat for the Black History Month calendar, but we'll also send that out as well so you can see upcoming events and opportunities to get involved. She'll also include a survey link so that you can give us feedback on the session, and we'd appreciate if you would take a couple minutes to fill that out. So thank you again, Mar-Lakuittia, for helping us learn more about the NAACP Lincoln Youth Council and all the work that you guys do. And thank you to everyone who joined.